Rumors about the Galaxy S23 are now in full swing, so we wanted to share what's out there plus what we want to see from the next Samsung flagship. Here's what you need to know about the Galaxy S23 ahead of its arrival. Samsung Galaxy S23 possible release date. The Galaxy S22 launched in February, so we'd expect a similar timeline for the Galaxy S23. The Galaxy S21 series came out in January 2021, but Samsung had to make room for the Galaxy S21 FE, so it likely pushed back the S22's debut. Of course, there's likely no Galaxy S22 FE in the works at Samsung, so that may not impact the S23 rollout plans. If you want evidence that a February 2023 launch is in the cards, a battery for a phone matching the Galaxy S23 Plus description showed up for certification with a South Korean agency in early September. The timing matches the S22 rollout, which would seem to suggest a February 2023 launch is on track. While one rumor has suggested a mid-January release for the S23, we're more confident than ever in a February launch after a report from Korea Jungang Daily opens in new tab, cites Samsung insiders who claim that an unpacked event is in the works for early February. Samsung Galaxy S23 design. In terms of design, the Galaxy S23 lineup may adopt the Galaxy S22's look, with the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra in particular looking very similar to its predecessor. A tip from leaker Ice Universe has the smartphone set to measure 6.43 by 3.07 by 0.35 inches, which is a minor increase over the 6.42 by 3.06 by 0.35 inches of the Galaxy S22 Ultra. That's all in spite of a new camera tipped, which has been theorized as one way we could end up with a larger camera module and thus a thicker overall phone. Since this original rumor, Ice Universe has taken a closer look and thinks that the reason the phone is getting thicker is that Samsung could be increasing the bezel thickness of the Galaxy S23. We still don't know why the bezel thickness would possibly increase, could be a move to increase durability, so that is something we will want to keep an eye on as the phone gets closer to launch. Wondering what these rumors might mean for the S23 Ultra's actual look? Leaked Galaxy S23 Ultra renders show off the potential design for the upcoming flagship. We see a black phone that bears a strong resemblance to the Galaxy S22 Ultra that came before it, although Ice Universe opens a new tab, has commented that there could be some differences between these renders and the final product, including more prominent metal rings around the cameras and a flatter display in sides. But that's likely to be the case for all the phones Samsung releases in early 2023. Based on another leak from Ice Universe, opens in new tab, which contends that the Samsung Galaxy S23 series will feel very similar to the previous S22 series. Right from the phone's dimensions to the screen size, are all nearly identical to their predecessor models. According to the leak, the Galaxy S23 will feature a 6.1-inch 1080 by 2340 display, the Galaxy S23 Plus has a 6.6-inch 1080 by 2340 display, and the S23 Ultra will have a 6.8-inch 1440 by 3088 screen. For comparison, this is exactly what the Galaxy S22, S22 Plus and S22 Ultra currently offer. One potential alteration for the Ultra is its weight, which may increase due to extra metal parts. However, Ice Universe did identify the display as one of the only things that would be upgraded on the Galaxy S23 Ultra compared to the S22 Ultra. He didn't say how though, but we'd assume it'll be something minor like power efficiency or brightness, rather than a new resolution or higher refresh rate. We do have a hint at one feature upgrade the S23 display could get. According to Twitter leaker rCloudS, the entire S23 lineup could get an upgraded fingerprint reader. This would be the latest Qualcomm 3D Sonic Max fingerprint reader, which has a footprint 17 times larger than the current in-display fingerprint readers used by Samsung. It can even allow for scanning multiple fingerprints at once. While the front of the phones may not change, the Galaxy S23 and S23 Plus may look different when you flip them over. New renders based on leaks from OnLeaks show the phones with individually embedded camera sensors, which mirrors the look of the S22 Ultra. Plus, newly leaked cases designed for all three Galaxy S23 models seem to back the renders up. Samsung Galaxy S23 cameras. Several rumors have claimed the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra will get a 200MP camera, which would be a notable increase over the 108MP camera on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. This camera rumor has been gaining a lot of momentum in the recent past. However, another leak says it may not be the second-generation ISOCELL HP3 sensor Samsung goes for after all, but the older ISOCELL HP1. But a more recent tip has the Galaxy S23 Ultra poised to get a 200MP camera in the form of an unreleased sensor from Samsung, later claimed to be the ISOCELL HP2, which will beat both the existing HP1 and HP3 200MP sensors that the company makes. This could be good news for the next Samsung flagship phone. Samsung's HP3 is a mid-range sensor and the HP1 is the larger and more refined sensor that is expected to debut on Motorola's X30 Pro or the Motorola Edge 30 Ultra. In a bid to be better than its competition, Samsung could well have another sensor planned for its own flagship. If you're curious as to what this sensor may be capable of, Samsung has shown off a video of the 200MP HP1 camera sensor in action by snapping a photo of a cat and then blowing up that image to fit a 28x22-meter canvas that was hung off the side of a building. It's hard to tell for sure in a YouTube video and not in person, but the image looked impressive. Details appear to be very crisp, with individual cat hairs picked out. Samsung Galaxy S23 chipset and performance. If Samsung sticks to its past way of doing things, the Galaxy 23 is going to be powered by Qualcomm's latest silicon. And that would be the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which the chipmaker unveiled in November. In addition to performance and power improvements over last year's Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, you can expect a more advanced AI engine and an image signal processor that introduces a bunch of intriguing camera capabilities. Samsung Galaxy S23, what we want to see. Better battery life. The battery life on all three Galaxy S22 models is, in a word, disappointing. Even the Galaxy S22 Ultra with its 5000 mAh power pack couldn't last as long as phones like the OnePlus 10 Pro or iPhone 13 Pro Max in the Tom's Guide battery life test. The mid-range Galaxy A53 doesn't have stellar battery life either. Samsung might be competing with the OnePlus 11 Pro that could also launch in 2023 and needs to up its game with battery life. Shrinking the power packs from the Galaxy S21 to the Galaxy S22, 3700 mAh versus 4000 mAh, and Galaxy S22, 4500 mAh versus 4800 mAh, was not a wise decision and obviously hurt both phones in testing. Better cooling. It's no secret by now that the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip runs hot. This causes it to hit throttling problems, especially in intense games. Samsung also got caught intentionally throttling some apps to preserve system performance. While the move ultimately ended up as shady or downright heinous for some, it proved one point: the Galaxy S22 needed better cooling. The OnePlus 10 Pro features a new cooling system that makes the phone noticeably more comfortable after long gaming sessions than the Galaxy S22 Ultra in my experience. We're not asking for something on the level of the best gaming phones, but the S22 can get really hot. We want to see the Galaxy S23 fix this. Better model differentiation. Let's face it, the Galaxy S22 and Galaxy S22 Plus are pretty boring. They look just like their predecessors, without many new features. The biggest change involved improved nightography for low-light photos, but all of Samsung's efforts clearly went into the most expensive Galaxy. While understandable, we'd really like to see the Galaxy S23 and Galaxy S23 get something that makes them more than iterative upgrades. Whether it's a fresh design, stronger cameras, or display refresh rates that actually dip to 10 Hz since the Galaxy S22 and Galaxy S22 Plus did, in fact, feature a minimum of 48 Hz instead of the 10 Hz Samsung initially advertised. We just don't want the Galaxy S23 and Galaxy S23 Plus to bore us. The Galaxy S23 Ultra though should be anything but boring. Samsung executive Roh Tae-moon may have just told us that the Ultra will be returning for the S23 lineup and that it isn't going to disappear anytime soon. This was the total information that I managed to gather about Samsung S23 HOPW. You like the video, please subscribe. Because these types of video take a long time to edit, please show some support.